Hello everyone, this is Dr. Classic Love. My videos are going to take you to look for love stories found in the classic works written in the Chinese language and also found in the Chinese history. Today we're going into one story found in the Chinese history. It's about a woman who single-handedly changed the fate of a nation. Her name is Ji, which literally means she's a very beautiful lady. So her scheme to destroy the fate of that nation was put into actions in 3 steps. So first, let's take a look at where she came from and all the people involved in this story. So the nation is called the nation of Jin. This is about 2,500 years ago, and so the king of this nation is not a very smart man, we would say, but his son, maybe after 2 or 3 kingdoms after him, actually became one of the most powerful king in that time. So let's see. 晋献公娶于古，无子，征于齐姜，生秦穆夫人及太子申生，又娶2女于戎，大戎骊姬生重耳，小戎死，生夷吾。晋伐厉戎，厉戎男女以骊姬，归生奚齐，其子生卓子。So this paragraph tells all the people involved in this story. So Jin Xiangong is the king. He married a woman from the nation of Gu, but she didn't give birth to anyone. And then he had an affair with the queen of the nation of Qi, and she gave birth to 2 people, one daughter who later married the king of the nation of Qin, and then also a son who was the oldest son. And in Chinese culture, if you're the oldest son, you're supposed to take heritage of the nation after the old king dies. And then he married 2 women from Rome. It's not a nation, but it's more like a tribe, less civilized. And the older daughter, the older women, Hu Ji, gave birth to Chong'er, and this Chong'er became one of the most powerful kings in that times when he became the king. And the second woman gave birth to Yi Wu. And then this old king started a war against another tribe named Li Rong, and they gave Li Ji, which is the lady in question today, to him, probably as a prize. And she gave birth to Xi Qi, and her sister also gave birth to another son called Zhuozi. So of course, Li Ji wants her own son to become the new king after the old king dies. So she took some actions to drive away the older brothers. So the first step was, because she was very liked by the king, so she made it happen that all the other older brothers left the capital. And then the second step was she created some conflict between the oldest son and the old king. So she convinced the oldest son to go to war against a tribe, but according to one of the advisors, the job responsibility of the oldest son should not include going to war. So here's what he said. 夫帅师专行谋，弑君旅，君与国政之所图也，非太子之事也。So he's basically saying going to war is the job of the king, not the prince, because the prince is the reserve, so he shouldn't be put into a very dangerous condition where he possibly could die. But because of this instance, there's already conflict between the prince and the king, and the king even said, 寡人有子，未知其谁立焉. He's basically saying, I have many sons, I don't even know who I want to put as the new king after I die. And then the last step to finally dethrone this prince is she created some misunderstanding between the old king and the prince. So here's what happened. 姬谓太子曰：“君梦其将，必速继之。”太子既于曲沃，归坐于宫。宫田，姬至诸公6日。公至，独而献之。公祭之地，地焚。于犬，犬毙。于小臣，小臣亦毙。姬泣曰：“贼由太子。” So first, she told the prince that the king had a dream about the prince's mom, and this means that the prince need to memorize to start a ceremony to commemorate the mom. So then the prince did what she said, and as a good son, he gave the meat used in the ceremony to the king. But the king went hunting, so this lady left the meat in the palace for 6 days, and when the king returned, she put some poison on it and then gave it to the king. The king dropped some on the floor, and then a little bump came up the floor, which means that it was poisoned. And then he gave some to a dog, and the dog died after eating. And then he also gave some to his servant, and his servant also died. And then the lady said, this must be from the prince. So at this point, the king basically, wants to kill the prince, and the prince knew about that, and eventually the prince killed himself. And this lady also tried to sabotage the other 2 sons, Chong'er and Yiwu, but these 2 didn't kill themselves. They ran away, actually. That's why after many years, so after the old king died, this lady's son became the new king. But after he died, I think his son became the new king. But after his son died, eventually Chong'er came back from foreign countries and became the new king, and became one of the most powerful kings in that times. So this lady single-handedly changed the course of the history. So this is not really about love, because between this lady and the old king, I think it's more about manipulation and power hunger. But if the old king didn't love this lady or didn't have desire for this lady, he wouldn't fulfill all her requests, driving the princess away and starting to build conflicts between them. So that's why I still think it's a very relevant subject, very relevant story in my videos. If you like my videos, please share and subscribe. Also leave comments if you have any questions about this story. Thank you and see you next time.